Everyone, CCG Genesis here with my boy Eli.
Yo,
so here we're going to have an introductory video of deck building. So with deck building, you had to have the four main concepts: a plan, which was also revolved around deck strategy, consistency, win condition. What was the other one again? Fuck.
It would be your consistency, your win con, the game plan, and
synergy. There we go.
Yeah, how it all works together.
Yeah, synergy. Right. I was just talking. We were just discussing this. I forgot.
It's cool.
All right. I mean, we have a million things in our head. So the first thing we're going to talk about is obviously with a huge game like this where you have a bunch of rulers and commanders, you have to obviously start out with the commander or your ruler.
In this case,
it's basically commander.
Yeah, it's
right,
essentially commander.
Yeah. So we talk about commander. So we're going to go around with the Prisia because it's very simple to go around. She rolls around Sacred Beast. And plus, I'm really hyped up about the Ascension campaign. So we're obviously going to do this.
Obviously.
So Prisia has the ability to convert mana for the Sacred Beast, which could be very helpful if you don't have the right mana stones for the Sacred Beast. So and then you're also able to play with other type of stone lists. Like you could go blue, red, white, etc. Even mono black. I wonder how mono black Prisia would work.
Actually, that sounds like it would be really, really interesting in this, especially in this format. Since you can take advantage of a lot of the discard while you still get a lot
Things
of
to test later.
Yes, definitely.
Things to test later. But then you also want to synergize around her
The J ruler side too?
So what her ruler form is basically she gains swiftness if you have red, target attack or precision if you have white, flying if you have blue, and +2/+2 if you control green, which is basically all four of the Sacred Beast. But don't get me wrong, you also have different types of resonators to obviously fulfill those requirements. Her God's Art brings out the Sacred Beast for basically 9 mana. Wish it wasn't 9 mana, but...
Well, the campaign one is 8.
No, it's 9 still.
Oh, no.
I wish. That's what I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
I wish. I really wish. But the ability to be able to search out your Sacred Beast and put them into play at any time, you still retain priority. So if they Black Moonbeam you, you still retain the priority to use your God's Art. Remember that. That's an important thing.
So... I guess an interesting question about that. How would you explain the concept of like
priority?
Because you can't exactly chase to Black Moonbeam.
Because you have to, before you do anything, you have to let your opponent do something.
Well, if you're a
defending player, you have to wait until your opponent responds with something.
Right.
So if I have legitimately just jacked through Prisia, and she's just standing there. They cannot Black Moonbeam you
until you've done something else.
So like, if I declare combat, then they can Black Moonbeam you because I declared combat. So that's they're responding to me. Mm-hmm. I can God's Art, then they can Black Moonbeam as well. But if they Black Moonbeam you, you can still say I retain my priority. So think of this as like GOAT format in Yu-Gi-Oh, where you still have priority.
Priority was everywhere though in GOAT format.
Exactly.
But it makes sense because technically you're not allowed to play on your opponent's turn.
Sure. Exactly.
So the only way for you to really consider it is you're responding on your opponent's turn. Okay.
So that's the main thing. So let's go with the deck list basically.
Yeah, let's go over the deck list.
So obviously we have our mana dorks. The mana dorks are there to ramp up to your main plan of how long in your opponent or to be able to flip over Prisia faster and to basically advance your game state.
Hit the God's Art quicker. Okay.
Is there to advance your game state, basically, which is revolving around the whole deck. So then we have Zhuque. All the Sacred Beasts work well with each other. This is how synergy revolves around the whole. This is how synergy revolves. So the Sacred Beasts will synergize with each other. Zhuque burns for 200 per Sacred Beast. Qilong draws you a card. Sadly, it's not per Sacred Beast.
I know. That would be so much better.
I'm like, boy, redraw my hand. Baihu, in my opinion, is probably the best one in this format because the life gain is very strong. It's a very low resonator based format, and life gain is very rare. So if you get outgained and out your opponent, you can technically use that as another win condition. While Turtle is a very strong defensive card,
Which is also pretty good in this format because
Also against this format, especially if you're playing against aggro. I mean,
yes,
there's obviously always going to be aggro players there, so Turtle is going to be there to say, back off. I'm here.
this is mine.
This is my territory. Keelong works well with the Sacred Beast, obviously. Not the fact that he draws you a card, but the fact that he gives all other Sacred Beasts +2/+2.
Right, and he's also the biggest one.
Yeah, he's the biggest one, so he makes all of these bigger. So Tiger becomes an 8/8. Chicken becomes a 6/6. Obviously, it gives you more favorable trades.
Right.
It puts more pressure on your board. It's responsive, so it's things like someone's trying to space-time anomaly or Zhu Kuei's, give it +2/+2.
And just
They had to remove it still.
exactly, like they have to use it twice now. To
They
get
don't
it.
have to technically. They can use other resources. Like if they're playing Mikage, they can just play 2 more black and get their blood counters built up.
Yeah,
But the thing is, at that point, they might be tapped out.
right. Because at that point they would have paid 4.
They would pay 4 mana to
drop.
get rid of a 2-mana card.
Yeah, exactly.
When you could potentially kill them next turn, and it has to save that mana for a counterspell. Say, like if I have Sprint in the Beast Lady to kill you with.
Like if they sit there, they decide they're gonna go after your Zhu Kuei, and then you're like, okay, whatever's left over on the board, my turn.
I kill you. Yeah. So
You would consider that basically that's how you would.
this is
define
the heart. This is basically the heart
and
of the
soul
deck.
of the deck.
The
It's the
heart and soul.
strategy.
This is the strategy, and then this is the main course of action.
This is the main condition of the deck.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
how you're going to get your Sacred Beast out most of the time, besides Precious Godsart.
Right.
I mean, yes, you can still play the Sacred Beast from your hand, and against certain matchups, it's better to do that than to wait for your how long. But if you're playing against like a control matchup, you don't want to have your Sacred Beast in hand.
You want to kind of
You just want to have your control cards
okay.
to try to stall out your opponent more.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
How long is basically the type of win condition, but not really a win condition. It's the setup of your win condition. It builds you a board. If you are behind, how long can put you back into the game?
Right.
Because by itself, it's a 14/14 with 4 other creatures that gave you a card, gave you 800 life, burn something for 800, and bounce a 4-drop or less.
Yeah, that's actually pretty strong when you actually consider everything about like the Sacred Beasts, how they
Yeah.
all work out. He gives you instant access to the entire Sacred Beast.
Exactly.
strategy.
He gives you the strategy. This is why he is the soul of the deck, and this is the heart.
Right. So it also explains why you're running 3 of him, but
'Cause
only
you
2
wanna
of
draw.
each of the guys.
Yeah. At first, I was running 3 and 3 because
Right.
why not, right?
Yeah, of course, because if you're gonna get them out, you're gonna
Especially
get 'em
since it was a different format. But now, since it's more of a control-based format, you don't want so much resonators
out. Because you don't want to have them so easily.
killed.
Yeah, exactly,
You want to be able to kill your opponent when you can kill your opponent.
exactly.
Right, so. And then we go down to my tech choice, because it synergizes well with the deck. I play with 2 Lumias. It very synergizes well with the deck because of the fact that you have the 3 colors required to be able to shift her over by tapping her. So you can do it on your opponent's end phase.
You can tap her along.
And
with,
there's 3 other Sacred Beasts. If they didn't do anything, you shift her over. You become back to 4,000.
pick
Sometimes
up
I
the spell.
legitimately went back down to 4,000.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
I mean, to be fair, it was against Machina, and they can't really do much to Turtle, besides being able to kill it with sprints.
Because Turtle's effectively a free block.
It's a free block, so you're not going to attack when you have a Turtle there, and I'll just take all the Marabella hits.
Yeah,
I don't
because
care about Marabella.
yeah, especially with this in your deck.
Yeah, so I was up to efficiently 7,000 life against Machina. Yeah, I'm not joking. I had double how long, so I had 8 Sacred Beasts on the field with a Lumia. I actually have a picture of this on my phone too.
Oh my gosh, we got to make sure we put that in
I
when we
will
get the chance.
I'll show you this picture.
Oh my
I'll show
gosh.
you especially this picture. I'll probably like upload it somehow.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's insane. Like the how longs for 2,400 a piece.
the heals for 2,400 a piece.
No, the how longs were 2,400 a piece.
Oh, the big dudes.
yeah,
yeah.
I'm saying like my board because I played Sprint and Beast Lady that same turn. Like,
Oh
how
my
much-
goodness,
this is overkill.
This is game.
This is super overkill.
Oh my god.
But the fact that also late game, if you are extremely low in health and you have nothing on your field and you top deck Lumia, you're at 10 stones. You get Hardcaster for 10 or Hardcaster for 8.
That's right.
Yeah, because she's only 3 mana and 5 mana to shift
five
over.
mana
So you
shift.
get Hardcaster for 8 mana, And if you still have a counterspell in your hand, you technically don't have to worry about her getting counterspelled. Because
How much is it? Well, I mean, so if you were to
Hardcaster,
if you were to
has to
hardcast
shift her
the shift
over.
side.
She's 10 mana to shift over. But you can shift her over from this side for 8.
for 8, yeah,
Which
so you
is
would just,
actually hilarious.
oh, that's the
Because
worst.
it's cheaper to do it
It's
this way.
cheaper that side than anything.
But the fact that if this side doesn't get countered, you shift over, that side can't
Exactly.
get countered. If you shift over the other side, it can get countered easily.
Exactly.
So you gotta play.
You're kind of playing towards your towards what you feel.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to later situations, like if you counterspelled their horns and you still have all of your horns because you're playing 4 horns guaranteed, so you're never really gonna deck out against a matchup like that. So you just counterspell their horns and you'll eventually win.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Like you cannot deck out when you have 4 horns. in
No,
the deck.
it's impossible to deck out with 4 horns.
Unless they counterspelled all 4 of her horns, which I highly doubt when they have to worry about how long your other counterspells, ramp spells.
I mean, even if they counterspell all 4 of your horns, that means you got your win con off anyway.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with counter magic right now. So we'll just grab out all the counter magic. So Wall of Wind is a very early game, very situational, easy out card. It's there to essentially dominate your early game, and that's all you want to use it for. Like, get your opponent's turn 1 dead, turn 2 dead. So they do turn 2 Lancelot. They have no if they don't use an energized ruler, or they already use their energized ruler on the Lancelot already for turn 1. You negate it.
You go negate.
Done.
Okay, so let's stop that right there.
You're not allowed to have this. No fun for you.
No fun for you.
But it's very efficient. You get rid of cards like Rook, Eggs, Guinevere's, Lancelot's, maybe it's possibly Athena's, Flame King Shouts.
It's all based on how everything would be set up going into
This
that.
is your basically your late game counters. I wanted to put a 4th one in here, but I want to keep the deck as small as possible, just to be able to draw into how long's faster. This is your main counter spell in the deck, and you'll always be able to recycle these.
You don't have any way
of.
of producing moon, right? To
No.
make it like...
I used to play Moonbreeze Elf, but then why play Moonbreeze Elf when you play
Yeah,
Secret
because
Elf?
you're playing... Yeah.
You need the green more than anything. To be fair, that's all you need. It's just this to be your late game counter magic. If they're using cards on your counter magic to counter it, that's fine.
That's fine.
It did its
because
job already. Because
it's
then you
take-
just
it's
get your
taking
how
those
long
cards
safe.
anyway, yeah.
You have your how. You make sure your how long safe basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want to protect the deck. So this is how it's synergizing with each other. Protection spells.
To even go more so with the synergy.
This protects your ruler, your resonators, your mana dorks. So this is how the synergy goes. Protect your cards, and then kill and then win with your cards. It replaces itself. You can use it whenever you need it to. So if Priscilla gets Black Moon beamed,
Yeah. Hey,
even
how
though
this.
remember that Horn gives her natural and perishable. Cough cough Lewis.
Tap imperishable is amazing.
I know, right? But yeah, that's the main thing. This will protect Priscilla, this will protect her how long. Bear and bows are a very prominent thing in this meta. Making them use more resources is the game.
Yes.
Up next, we use Cycle. So, this is basically just cheap draw power. It replaces itself, and you get to do something else with it. So, and it also, in effect, also filters mana in case you don't have the other stones.
Right.
Remember, How Long needs all the different types of stones to be able to bring out all the sacred beasts.
Right.
So, if you
You
don't have
actually
blue,
don't have
if you
the
don't have
stones.
red, you'll have this to produce what colors you need.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's why I put it in a deck, because sometimes you don't get the stones that you're always going to need.
And to also add for synergy, it also helps
Consistency,
you get
synergy.
and get to your pieces and everything for that matter.
The ramp, besides Sacred Elves, this also adds consistency to your stone deck as well, because
Yes.
the main color you want to see is white at all times for your counter spells, for how long to make sure you get the Bayou, because the Bayou's the most
Bayou's
important right
life.
now.
Yes.
Bayou's the main importance resonatorness right now.
Well, I mean, you don't actually need the light for Bayou as long as you're on your ruler side,
No,
correct?
as long as you're on the ruler side, yes, but I'm saying to get off of how long.
Ah, that's right. So you can pull them off with how long?
Yeah. Of course, you don't need the stones because Priscilla will obviously filter the mana if you're hard casting them.
If you're hard casting
But if you're
them.
doing it with how long, you're going to need all the 4 different stones.
That's right.
all the stones are obviously green, so green is out of the question, but you still need red, you still need blue, and you still need white. White being the most important because your counter spells are
All of your
based
counter
off white.
spells are based on your white.
Yeah. And then more ramp, the Ragnite. Ragnite's very interesting. It allows you to do turn 3 Ragnite, tap, have play a mana dork if you need be.
Right.
You also use it to sacrifice to produce another color of mana.
Huh, okay.
So it gives you 2 mana for 3 mana.
It's the same thing as Schrodinger's cat then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except better because you can do 2 types of mana. It doesn't give you imperishable, but
Right. Which
in
is
this
what-
type of deck you don't need the imperishable. You need the mana.
Right, because usually if you J-activate, you're
You
already
have
going
the
into
imperishable
game.
off the
Yeah.
off the horns anyway.
Yeah, and since the horns do double up on imperishable, there's no need for... That
What are you
makes
talking
sense.
about? Quadruple on imperishable.
Oh my goodness. Changing my imperishable with imperishable?
It's hilarious. But this also can activate as its own win condition as well. Because you can potentially make Prisya swing twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It has that last text. 2 white, banish, tap, banish itself, restand your J ruler.
Oh,
So she can attack potentially twice.
so she can come in pretty big twice.
Yeah. So naturally she'll be an 8-8. If you have the green, should be a 10-10. With your horn, should be 12, 14, 16, 18. And then you tap all 4 of them again,
Right,
you're dying.
yeah.
You're
And
definitely
then she
dead.
swings twice because that's annoying.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't over-flooded these because we don't want to rely on having so much Regalia when
Right.
Heavenly Gust is very prominent in today's meta with everything playing a lot of Regalias.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, we also do play the Heavenly Gust.
Oh, would you look at that? Because everything is playing so much regalia.
Because everything's playing Regalias, you want to make sure you protect your own Resonators from bows. You want to get rid of Death Scythe. Leviathans are nice to get rid of. Hydromonicas are nice to get rid of. Orbs are nice to get rid of because a lot of people are playing the Orbs again to have that cycle power. I'm not playing Orbs because I am playing something else that has a little bit more utility for the deck. And we'll get to that later. So, it's a quick cast. It has Torrent. Torrent is basically if you played another card, it gets added benefit.
Yes.
This is, if you know Scatterstorm.
Scatterstorm from Magic. If you don't know, if you don't know it because
Look
it's
it
your
up.
first time, okay, yeah, check it out. Let's be real.
It's the real thing. But this is technically actually better than Scatterstorm because Scatterstorm only got rid of enchantments. This gets rid of additions and enchantments like Regalias.
Yes,
So, you get rid of 2 types of enchantments.
for the same cost actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Technically 4, it depends on what type you're also doing because if you're playing Regalia, then it's basically the same cost.
Yes, because one regalia is free.
Because it's usually free enough.
Yeah.
And then, we obviously play one of the best Regalias in the game. Never let your deck out.
The never die regalia.
The Never Die Regalia. Better in Prisya because of the fact that you can also use it to ramp up your Sacred Beast, sorta, because it produces the colorless. So you could do Baihus and Turtles and Keelongs and Juquei. You do turn 1. If you have multiples of these, the best one's obviously to go for Tiger, because Tiger represents a lot of board pressure against smaller creatures.
Okay.
Things like Mana Dorks cry in front of fucking Tiger because it's like,
Because
I
that.
can just attack into you.
Hey, you're just standing
Unless you're
there.
Moonbreeze off.
Punch. Well,
That's the only Mana Dork that gets around Tiger, but other than that,
yeah, but that's where Zuquei comes in at that point.
Zuquei will just burn afterwards anyway. But again, it gives Prisya +2/+2. It gives her imperishable. Nice. The main reason why we use it is just to not deck out. Also, the fact that it's Prisya's Regalia.
It's Prisya's
Why
regalia.
wouldn't you not
This is a
use it?
Prisya deck. I mean, yeah.
I would also probably recommend using Death Scythe yourself. I side into Death. Well, I'm considering siding Death Scythe, but I'm not gonna competitively use this deck right now until next set comes out, and then if I get my Ascension Ruler, which I'm hoping to get.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And then our situational cards. They're not really situational, but they're very useful. I play the Hydromonica because it lets you search out your entire deck for anything. So it gives you the synergy of searching out your How Long, which is the most important thing.
Right.
And that's basically the only reason why we ever use that card.
Yeah, that's effectively the main
The
thing.
tank is a very interesting tech choice that I decided to do over the orbs because the tank does a lot more things. It draws, it protects, it gives you life, and it rest his J ruler. So you could rest Mikage.
Ooh, that's true.
So if they decide to pump up and be idiots, but they're not realizing that you have 4 mana open somehow,
And don't seem to know what your card does, because...
and they decide to enter combat, but using all their counters up, so it's like, sure, rest.
Stay down.
You will stay down.
I don't want to see anything. None of that shenanigans.
That means I don't have to worry about blood counters anymore. I don't have to worry about getting that -1/-1 anymore.
Or them gaining the life as a result of that.
I mean, the life gain doesn't matter because eventually I will just deck them out if anything.
That's... Well, you do have the ability to reshuffle everything.
Like, I will deck out fast. You will deck out faster than me.
Much faster.
Even if you had the double horn, because I'm
Yes.
countering those horns. Those are the first things I'm countering in those matchups.
That makes sense.
If I'm
Makes a
going
lot of
first
sense.
and I see a horn there and you haven't tapped for mana yet,
that horn
horn's
is
going
gone.
down.
That horn is number one.
Unless you're, and then if you use your energize, that's fine. That's fine for me. I still have the other one to get rid of anyway.
Exactly. And you also ate the Energize.
Yeah.
So it's perfectly fine.
So I don't have to worry about getting double scored or double Painless Mist or getting turn 1.
Turn one,
Lapis
two
and
drops.
Darkstorm.
Yeah.
And that way I can counter that turn 2 if I actually have the White Stone. This is just... I like this card a lot more. And then here's the win con.
No, the win con.
The other win con. This is saying, if I have my board presence, you're dying.
Yeah.
This is legit overkill, the card.
Because, like you explained earlier, you could end up with an entire board
Or
of
of
8
Sacred Beast.
Sacred Beasts, 2 Huanglongs, and
Like, you don't even need that. Like, those 5 by themselves will kill you.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like...
Those
you
4
can
by
also go-
themselves will actually kill you.
Yeah,
too.
they can.
With Priscia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's exact.
Yeah, I just need to have those 4 there. J-activate Priscia, play this, you're dead. If you can't kill Priscia, you're dying.
Yes. Yes.
And then, obviously, for the stones... Because you just want the maximum amount of colors.
And since you're already running a base of green, just having as much green, is there a reason why you're not considering just 4 Rulers Memorial then?
Because why wouldn't you just run the dual stones? I already ran the Rose Memorial when there was no dual stones, and I hated it.
Oh.
Because I played 4 horns and I played 4 Death Scythe, and it's like you never got the fucking Rose Memorial. You can't use How Long.
Oh, that's right. That is definitely right.
So I would just rather use this because it just adds to consistency of How Long. And then if they do Captain Hook me, I already probably rant to where I can not care about the Captain Hook or just counter the Captain Hook in general.
Exactly.
Captain Hook is not a problem in this deck.
Because you kind of...
I already ramped out of it anyway.
Yeah, you always ramp out of hooks.
With blessings, with the Mana
Dorks.
the Rag Knights.
Exactly.
That's why it's such a good that's why I like that synergy a lot because you can technically do turn 3 Rag Knight, turn 2 Rag Knight as well, if you have a Mana Dork open. And then set up another Mana Dork with that Rag Knight, so you're able to do another so you're able to How Long the next turn.
Yeah, you basically have the ability to just, even though you're only sitting on, 3 stones, you technically would have access to 6
Yeah.
at that point.
Exactly. So I'd be able to How Long you, then next turn J-activate, kill you.
And as you can see, to kind of get to the whole concept, that's how he basically explained how the entire deck operates, the win condition, how the synergy of all of the idea of the deck works. That's why he's running certain card choices over other card choices. This is what you want to think about when you're actually building your deck.
Yeah.
Now,
We could go to the side deck. So side deck is obviously optional towards the meta. So obviously I was building towards more aggressive / burn players because I thought burn was going to be very prominent. I didn't think control was going to be super huge this format like
Right.
it was. But the thing is, Yggdrasil represents a lot of control itself, and with the ability of bringing out Alice's and Excalibur X's, this control game is very strong, unless they soul hunt you. But by then you probably already have other Resonators to not be soul hunted by anyway.
yeah, usually by the time you're dropped to 100, you're probably going to have more than one guy on the board.
And if I'm getting against Mikage, they've dropped me down to 100. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
But you wasted, I don't know how X amount of counters to put me down to 100, so I'm perfectly fine
Yeah,
with
we're
this.
good. That's perfectly
And then I'll
okay.
just flip over Lumia eventually and then be like, cool, I'm
Come back up to
I'm back to
4K.
4,000. With an Alice, I'm back at 36.
Yep.
Come at me. Plus having multiple of these saying that you can't be targeted, so you can't be targeted by Scorns. That's basically. There's not a lot of target cards.
Yeah, that target
players right now.
Yeah.
That are really strong, relevant against you, because Alice would take most of the ball anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they had to pay more to just target Alice means they're wasting more resources on the Alice themselves.
Which means it puts them in a much slower position.
Which means that my other Resonators will be protected.
Your Sacred Beasts.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Plus, it also synergizes with Lumia, in a way, technically.
Yeah.
Regain more life. My life's never going to be touched.
Exactly.
Also, I forgot that Lumia, being a tricolor Resonator, activates all of her effects but the green one.
Activates all the Perseus effects?
Yeah. So it gives her flying, swiftness, and target attack.
Oh, that's right. Ooh.
I forgot to mention that.
Being that she's a tricolor Resonator.
Yeah.
It's another reason why it's a...
Obviously, I played the extra Turtle because I thought, again, aggro deck was going to be relevant. So
right.
Turtle is the aggro king. He's like, bow down to me. I am now your king.
Well, now that you know that the meta is a lot more control-based, would you consider changing Turtle to Baihu?
No.
No?
Because the thing is, I'd still need to be prepared against aggro matchups.
Yeah.
I can't always prepare for control matchups. I still do have other cards in the side deck made for, technically, types of control.
Right.
So, Turtle's just there for my only real aggro answer besides Yggdrasil.
Okay.
And my only burn answer is Yggdrasil. Well, not really. I do play Keen Senses, but this is basically my other aggro answer.
Right.
Then, obviously, the extra Wallow Win in case you're not playing against that Energized Ruler, or in case you just really need the extra counterspell.
Yep.
Swarm decks, when I saw Turbo Glyber, I'm just like, yeah, this is now a card.
Yep.
This is now the card.
This is now the card that you needed.
Because it also does help this deck because you can just swing with everything. If they don't block, you just swing with your How Long. If they tend to block the How Long, and they didn't block with the Glimmer, you just do this and force them to take either that damage or sacrifice the Glimmer.
Exactly.
Like, it's a really strong card in certain matchups like Machina as well, getting rid of their board after they done March to Machine Lords. Because, again, Machina's going to be always relevant on the fact that Hugo always searches out resources.
And because of the fact that he searches them out, he basically is always able to get his combo, so you always having an answer is very important.
It's
like,
always
at any time.
important needed. And then having the answer to their answer is also needed. So
exactly.
You're going to always want to save up at least 5 mana when you know they're about to. And if you think they're going to go off, you need to at least save 5 mana.
You're predicting they're going off, then you
Yeah.
just save the 5 and then you wait for that.
Stealth Control, more addition hate. Because cards like Barrier of Shadows slow you down a lot with your Deactivate, your Godsart, and your Horns.
What about Shackles? Does that also hurt you or no?
With what?
Yeah, it's true.
But the +1/+1 that barely anyone uses. I mean, I have situations where I've used them, and it has favored trades.
Right.
But it's super rare. And you're only really using it mainly on, like, Turtle most of the time.
Yeah, just to stop him from getting that free block.
But the thing is, cards like... You want to prepare yourself against cards like Lunar Lake, Prison of the Lunar Lake, because that shit kills your How Long.
Yes, it does. So
having this on board and just getting rid of any stealth cards, because Esper Zero is probably very popular, and there's a lot of Esper decks out there that I haven't really got to test against yet. I'm still actually in the current building of Esper Zero, and I can't wait to actually play that. But stealth decks are very strong, so you have to be prepared for them. And that's why I played this one, these two, and 2 Keenses as well, because the fact to get rid of stealth and to control stuff.
To just have to handle. Basically, the whole idea is to not be caught off guard.
Not to be caught off guard. You have to be prepared for basically most situations. That's why Keensense is also very good, because it has a dual purpose of being able to get rid of normal spells and stealth
spells. Well, stealth creatures.
Stealth creatures, because you could just be like, okay, cool. You're not just like, let's say they had a stealth Meldor and you didn't know it was a Meldor, or you just assumed that, like, you're just predicting a Lunar Lake, so you just want to get rid of it.
Well, you know what? Let's just get rid of the.
Let's just get rid of the Lunar Lake now, so I don't have to worry about it later.
Before dropping the.
And then you just see a Meldor. It's like, oh, okay, now I don't have to worry about Meldor now.
Even better.
I mean, you can also get rid of early Riza too, because Riza requires 4 Darkness Stones, right?
Requires a darkness stone.
No, but to be able to flip over.
To flip over, yeah.
Yeah, you require 4 stones at that
4
point.
stones.
Yeah. So you get rid of early game Rizas, early game Meldors, and Lunar Lakes, which are the most important things. And then Shackles of Ice, again.
Which we were just talking about.
Against Mikage, strong. Against Machina, strong. Because it just stops your whole abilities.
It's also good against the 0 matchup.
The thing about the 0 matchup, the most thing that you are really worried about is Zero's Magic Light.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the stealth, basically.
That's true.
That's the only thing I really care about the 0 matchup. Zero herself
Doesn't do
is
anything.
not really the problem until she J activates.
And even then,
And by the time she J activates, most of my creatures are usually bigger than her.
Mm-hmm.
So she either blocks the How Long, takes no damage from the How Long, and then dies from everything else.
well, the joke is that like she swings in, How Long blocks her, it takes no damage from her, and then
Well, How Long will take damage from her, but
well, because he stops it, no?
no,
Oh,
that's,
not How Long.
that's
The turtle.
The turtle. Turtle. will be
Turtle
like,
literally goes,
Bro,
"Come at me, girl.
bro, I am you.
Who are you?
Who are
I
you?
am you.
I am
Better.
you. But like Thunder, I am you, but stronger.
But stronger.
Right, but now we're gonna go through the process of actual deck construction. This is like a pre-made built deck that I had on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to go through it again to show how well it synergizes, how the basis of deck building should go, and then we're gonna actually go through a deck construction.
Construction phase.
Right. So just hit the. Yeah, you just hit that.